Hi, and thank you for considering me as your next keynote speaker or seminar leader. You know, out here in the African savannah and bushlands, there are no Walmarts or McDonald's. If you as an individual don't mobilize towards your client with consistency and efficiency, you simply won't eat. Sound familiar? You bet it does, because that's the global economy you and I live in today. Successful teams are nothing more than a collection of successful individuals. Here's the thing, where's your organization on the food chain? Are your teams result-centric or process-centric? Are you predator or prey? To hold your conference or meeting in Africa would be both logistically and economically unfeasible. However, I can bring Africa, its magnificent predators, their intrinsic sales and leadership lessons to your meeting. Oh, and by the way, it's going to get wild. Absolutely just gorgeous, just beautiful, man. That is absolutely exquisite. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you're going to find 9,222 miles from the door outside. Exquisite, majestic beauty. Africa, its predators. Beautiful, exquisite. I tell you something else you're going to find there. You are going to find consistency. You are going to find focus. You are going to find a passion for results, an unapologetic commitment to getting the job done, an absolute commitment to not spending time inside of the process, but rather being driven by the result. Becoming result-centric, not process-centric. That's the magnificence of Africa and its predators. In the bush, no long, complicated, involved corporate mission statements. Do not need a thesaurus to understand that, man. Look at that. Hunt or be hunted. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. In the bush in Africa, no Subway, no McDonald's, cannot get a sandwich at a Starbucks. You want to eat? You've got to go out there and make that thing happen. Can you imagine if we had this kind of clarity, if we had this kind of commitment, if we married our dreams like that? The hunt for success is really a coming together of what we like to think is good business practice and acumen and my passion for the African bush. That is the audiovisual presentation, The Hunt for Success. Let me share something with you. I came to this country, this incredible democracy like no other in the world, 10 years ago with my wife and 4 daughters. From Johannesburg, South Africa, we relocated to the United States of America. We had a dream. We wanted to penetrate the marketplace here and engage in business and provide. I'm in the diamond business. I cut and polish loose diamonds in South Africa with my partners. Ladies, you hear that? And we sell retail jewelers all over the United States and all over the world, thank God. Let me explain something to you folks. There is a thing called foreign exchange control in South Africa. Foreign exchange control did not allow me to move money out of South Africa. And when I applied to the Reserve Bank, letting them know that we want to relocate to the United States and open up a business, they said, sure, no problem. I tell you what, here's $860.22. Have a good day. There was the check drawn on First National Bank, $860.22. We relocated to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where my wife's family lived, although I'm not sure that you can call your mother-in-law family, but that's where she lived. And there we arrive. $860.22 was the founding capital for Kivi International. Loose diamond wholesaler. Nothing complicated.
I thought the presentation was absolutely excellent. His ability to make you realize that you need to hunt your own hunt, I think, is just very valuable information.
I knew for all time that the messages that I'd received in the bush as a kid would come to serve me for the rest of my life. And so it was, that those scenes of predation, those lion moving towards their prey with consistency, leopard, solo, solitary hunters, making perfect planned arrangement to close, were the things that came to motivate me. It just kept me moving forward. You see, I discovered a fascinating thing. I'm not a huge conglomerate corporate resource that has massive financial resource and human resource. I'm just one guy. I'm a leopard. If I don't close, I don't eat. It was that simple. I had to readapt my entire paradigm of thinking to embrace why the Zulu people in the Shongan tradition, the witch doctors, wear leopard skin. Why? Because they say in Shongan, in Zulu, Amantla I Ingwe. What that means is the traditional Zulu saying of let the strength of the leopard be with you. And that is the thing that took me and helped me move through my marketplace day in and day out. As I was moving through these highways and byways, I started formulating and playing back in my head that leopard hunt, that incredible leopard hunt with such precision it closes. You think I'm kidding? Take a look at this. Pound for pound. Leopard are the most successful feline predators on earth. 76% close rate, ladies and gentlemen. You see that? It's unbelievable. 76% close rate. Can you imagine if you and I could do that? Prospect a client, bring them in, close them. 76% of the time. Lion, which are conglomerate cooperative hunters, only close 58% of the time. Lion hunt in prides of 9, 13, 18, 21. Leopard hunt alone. See, the economy that you and I live in today has forced us to be much more effective and efficient as individuals.
Fantastic job today. Learned a lot, most importantly knowing your territory, knowing your clients, and protecting that territory. Come here, Kristen. My work wife here. Come here. We'll talk about Kristen and I. Our territory is here at Callaway. So
yes.
We know that well.
We're now becoming a leopard.
Yes, we are.
And I just heard Kivi speak, and I think the thing that I took away from it most was you have to understand your own self and your own assets and what you bring to the table. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to fill a niche that's not your area. Understand what you bring to the table, what your assets are, and be that person.
If you can't do that with your competitors, know precisely who and what they are, how they hunt, you will penalize yourself in the bush. You will penalize yourself as you're trying to make client approach. Number one, know your competitor, who they are, identify them. Number two, know your prey well. But know your competitor predator better. Leopard have a phenomenal ability to study, identify their prey, study their habits, identify their competitors, study their habits. It defines their opportunity. It lets them be guided towards the niche. Take a look at this. Is this a prospect? Is this a prospect or what? No, that's a great take. But the chance of that happening is mild. Today we have absolutely no excuse because you can jump online and know more about your competitor than they do. You can Google UBS, you can Google Merrill Lynch, you can Google Morgan Stanley and learn more about their business than they know. Study your competitor predator. It will define your edge. One morning I wake up and I decide that, hey, hang on a second, I'm getting nailed time after time by Julius Klein Diamonds in New York. Why can I not penetrate where they have? I start to research how they do business, who they do business with, what their methodology is, what does their packaging look like? And I start to research. You know what I discovered? I discovered that their shipping department closes after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, I was living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the time. There's a FedEx depot at the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania airport that closes at 12 a.m. I decided that Kivi International's shipping department now closes at 11 o'clock at night. I took a huge campaign and I marketed to all my clients that we now have extended shipping hours till 11 o'clock. That was myself and my wife. I started phoning customers at 4:15 in the afternoon when I knew that shipping departments on the East Coast were closed. And I'd say, hi, this is Kivi. Just want to check in. Anything you need? Anything you need for tomorrow, perhaps? No. 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 A word you and I all love and know well. No. Yes. But I assume it's a little too late now, right? Your shipping department's closed? Actually, it's not. It's actually not. I can help you. Bang, I'd get that thing in a box, get in the car, in my Mazda 626 with a manual shift, gear 3 and 5 did not work, and I would just travel on down to the Pittsburgh International Airport, drop that thing in a box. Guess what? Tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m., there's a FedEx there. They've got that stone, they've got a customer, I've just serviced a client. You know how I did that? I did that by studying my competitor predator. That's what I did. And I found the gap, the niche that became my opportunity. That was a key component of progressing my business forward.
There's a lot of traits that I saw in what he was talking about as far as the leopard engaging life. I saw a lot of similarities to what I do in my life, and now I understand it a lot more. So it was fantastic, and I can't wait to hear another story. Thank you.
When I engaged a client, and I just kept bringing everything to them but diamonds, I just kept on selling diamonds. When I took a client that I brought on board and tried to now force them into other peripheral, secondary sale opportunities, doors kept on closing. But the more I engaged my relationship with him as a human being, the more I sold diamonds. So my function was to get out into the marketplace and sell me. It transcends all the way from the top of a Merry Prize. That dream book that says that you are a human being who dreams is such a powerful message in and of itself. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is that we do not believe that we are individual, specific human beings. We are inside of the social security syndrome in the United States of America. We're just about numbers, but you're not. You are a specific individual human being with incredible prospect and opportunity. Let me share with you in closing that there is a story told. See, a king who had dominion over a huge kingdom had no heirs, he had no children. So this king, ladies and gentlemen, called his advisors, and he said to his advisors, find me 10 people, bring them here. He did so. They seated in a conference round a table. The king stood up, and the king said, here's the deal. This magnificent, majestic kingdom will go to the person who grows me the most magnificent garden. I hand each of you a pouch with seeds in it. Take these seeds and plant your garden. I'm giving you 12 months. I will come back at the end of that 12-month period. Whoever's garden is the most magnificent will be king. They do so. Everyone is busy at work. They just plow out there. They are at Home Depot and Pikes, and they're getting nutrients and stuff, and they're growing gardens. And this one is busy, busy, busy. One guy puts his seeds in, prepares his soil, toils. Nothing comes up. A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, nothing's up. He thinks there's a problem with the land. It's not getting enough sun. So he moves to a different area, puts his seed in, waters, nourishes, stuff, things going on. Not a thing happening. 2 weeks, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, nothing. Everyone else's garden, booming. Unbelievable. This one's being featured on Vogue magazine. This one's being featured, Garden and Home. It's unbelievable gardens, just nurturing and blooming forth. 10-month mark, nothing. Comes to the 12-month mark. It's the big day, folks. The king and his entire entourage call them back in. Very simple. Whoever's garden is the most magnificent will become king. That's the deal. They start taking a tour of all these gardens individually. One is more magnificent than the next. Absolutely exquisite. They come to this gentleman's garden. There is not a thing there. It's barren. People burst out in laughter. It's an abomination. Not a thing has grown. They come back into the palace. They sit down around this table. The king says, "Sir," and he points out this gentleman whose garden did not come up. He says, "Stand up." He stands up. He says, "You will be king." People are aghast. They can't believe it. You're kidding me. This guy whose garden didn't come up? The king says, "You all know that I handed you a pouch of seeds. But I boiled those seeds in boiling water before I handed them to you. Seeds that have been boiled cannot grow. You switched them out for other seeds. The only one that worked with what I gave him was this gentleman over here. He will be king." We are consistently looking to trade in our specific tooling, our particular abilities for something else. We're always looking to import things from the outside to make ourselves what we think we need to be. I want to suggest to you that you are built for success just as you are, because God doesn't make no junk. If you are sucking oxygen into your lungs, you are good to go. Identify it, touch it, own it, and take it with you into one of the most exciting historical periods in financial planning, perhaps for the next 20 to 30 years. How privileged you are to be sitting in this position with a company of the magnitude of Ameriprise Financial. A company that is committed to the human being, to the dream. Ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, enjoy the ride, connect with it, and may God bless you and may God bless America. Thank you so much. Thank you.